Welcome back to Real Community Talks, where we meet with micro-level influencers doing macro-level things. But today we kind of got not really a micro-level influencer, a big guy. I'm your host, Matt DeSilva, and on today's episode, we have the man himself who's been flooding your Explore page, or you've probably seen him on Six Buzz, and also the man who was behind the viral This Is Canada parody video.
Welcome to Canada. Look how we living now. Hey. Look how we living now. Hey. Apologies given out.
My guy, Bilal Dawson. Bilal, thanks for coming on the show today, bro.
Man, you're making me blush.
When I put the guest book, he's like,
yeah,
oh, that's cute.
That was cute.
So for those two waste people that don't know who this guy is, and I don't know why you wouldn't, unless you're just not a social media person. Like I said, he's one of the GTA's most popular up-and-coming social influencers and is a full-time Instagrammer and YouTube creator. He's the CEO of his production company known as Division Digital. He's been an independent filmmaker for the past 6 years. He's a professional actor and scriptwriter. He's in the process of completing a BA at York University in Cinema and Media Studies. And among many other things, he is an entrepreneur, a comedian, a writer, an editor, a content creator. Look at the light skin face coming out. And just an all-around dope guy. So before we get... Was that accurate?
That was
Did
good.
I miss anything?
No. I'm super content with that.
So before we get into it, I need to get something straight. My boy Dre over here off camera, who supports your content, goes... Yo, where's this guy from? Like, he looks like he's light-skinned black, but he looks like he's like Middle Eastern, but he also has waves. So how are the waves possible? Where are you from?
No, I think you got that like dead on.
Oh,
actually.
Really?
Yeah, you did.
Shoot.
So people say my ethnicity is ambiguous.
Ambiguous.
Yeah. But I'm actually half African American. My dad's from California.
Okay.
So that's where the waves come in.
Yeah.
And my mom's Egyptian. She was born in Cairo, Egypt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they met in Canada.
So all you people wondering about where he's from, you know,
you know.
Check RCT to find out. So before we get into the questions, for the people who only see your content and don't know you as a person, what's your origin story? So who is Bilal Dawson and where are you from?
So I was born in Burlington. Grew up in Hamilton.
Dre's laughing in the
Then I know he's laughing. I don't need to see his face to know that he's making fun of my whereabouts right now. But yeah, I grew up in Hamilton, moved out to Toronto maybe like 4 years ago, and kind of just been living out here ever since.
Yeah.
What's my origin story? As far as film goes, I've been into film probably since I was like 9 years old. So ever since that, like I've always had like a steady focus on, I always wanted to make videos. So I was actually on YouTube making stupid videos with my friends and stuff. Like, you know, those ones,
horrible ones
where you'd be embarrassed to show that.
That's on iMovie. Yeah.
I've probably made 100 of those. I probably made 100 of those. I was using a VHS when it was still old to be using a VHS.
Jeez.
It was a hustle. But so I did some of that for a bit. Like I did YouTube kind of like consistently. High school, I kind of just did my own thing. And then once university hit, I was like, I need to get back into this zone of like making videos because I loved making the videos. But at first I wanted to just be in them like acting wise, right? But I realized like in high school, I wanted to do more directing. So I kind of started going to film festivals and stuff, like taking a more directing approach of it.
Yeah.
Come university, I was like I just like doing everything. So I started doing Instagram. I first started with YouTube. Yeah. But I found there was more of more audience in Instagram and short format kind of clips. So ever since then, I've kind of been just hustling on Instagram, just trying to make something every day.
I like that because it's not like you just posted one video on IG and you're like, I'm going to do this. You've been doing it since the VHS days.
Man.
That's cool. So something we kind of talked a bit about off camera is York University. And I mean, you've made content about, like when he put out that video, I think it was like if York U was a movie, like.
What is this place? You actually don't know? Take a look around. This is York. York? It can't be real. It's very real, okay? We've been on strike for 50 years, okay? I'm in debt. Please take me out of my misery.
And then about the strike too, like.
I don't know anything since the strike.
Hi, I'm Bilal Dawson,
Ever since the York U strike, our kids have been getting stupider and stupider.
Yo, I mean, I'm graduating from York in like October,
God
so if they ever
bless
see
you.
this, they're gonna be like revoke his graduation status. But I mean, like, yo, it's true. Like you were saying, like it's not a true experience at York if they don't have a strike every year.
Oh,
right?
it's essential.
Horrible.
It's essential. Yeah.
And I mean, like the thing that cheeses me is it's like I said, it's like a business. If I'm paying you $7,000 a year, I'm expecting not to get walked all over and being like, oh, you can just drop this course, and it's like, nah, but I paid this amount of money. I want to finish in 4 years. I don't want to finish in 5 years now, right?
It's always been that way,
horrible.
though.
Yeah.
University, like as an institution, is all business. Like that's the problem with education nowadays. Is like it doesn't even feel like you're paying so much money, and this isn't even including if you're an international student.
That's so true.
You're paying so much money, and like they don't even really like the professors. Like I don't know. I could ask you a question of like how many professors like have changed your life. Answer honestly.
I can't even like off the bat say one.
How much money are we paying to have no professor have an effect on us? And not only that, we're paying for student fees, we're paying for the gym, we're paying for textbooks, which are crazy amounts of
Stuff
money.
you can't even take out of tuition. Like you have to pay for like the radio station of your student union. You've probably never gone to your student union at all, right?
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
It's all just money getting funneled, and then
Yeah.
it's like next thing you know, you're paying for like insurance, or you're paying for like health health stuff that you don't
Never
even
gonna
need.
use.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Yeah. And I'm just like, I mean, it sucks because I think like they were saying York UTAs make the highest payout of any TAs in the province.
I believe
Yet they're
it.
like, you know, whatever. I'm not going to get all political or whatever, but it's like, it just sucks that. And then when it was time to accommodation period, they're like, oh, you need it in by this time. And I'm like, you're expecting me to get like a 30-page paper done with only like 2 months into a month into the course when there's sort of been 3. And then you expect me to put out content that's going to be like, you know, understandable or even of certain caliber. And I'm like,
And the thing with York, oh man, we're gonna get York's gonna hate me
York's
after
gonna-
this. The thing with York though is like they take in so many students.
yeah.
I don't even feel like they care about you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're kind
Most
of
of
just
your
like
high school is probably at York if you're nearby the GTA.
exactly, and that's not only that. It's just like they're like you're just one of like 30,000 students.
It's
So
true.
like you really don't matter to us.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they almost enroll people first year anyways.
Yeah.
So even if they drop it, like we got our money and like we'll dip
It's
now.
true.
You
Yeah.
know
Because
what
they
I
get
mean?
funding from the government. Yeah. So speaking of videos that you did, let's talk This Is Canada. So obviously, like I said, it's the parody video of Childish Gambino's This Is America, which I think has upwards of about 6 million views on 9gag and then
Yeah.
about 700 on your personal IG.
Yeah.
So talk about how that whole that phenomenon transpired.
So like it wasn't actually that like magical. I wish I could tell you like a crazy story, but I feel like with videos like that, like you see something
Yeah.
and you're like, how has this not been made yet? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
as soon as I saw the This Is America, I was like, we should make a Canadian version where it's like, because in the This Is America, it seems like everything's going wrong, right?
Yeah.
Then you make the This Is Canada, it's like, oh, we're just so happy, and you kind of play into those stereotypes,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though it's completely not true. It's like you want to make a joke of that, and then I saw people making like other kind of ones, like This Is Nigeria and all that stuff, which were all really good too.
Yeah.
But it was kind of just like a spur of the moment thing. Like, and I feel like for most of like my best videos were actually the ones where like I didn't really plan the idea wise. Like I didn't really script it. It's like it just happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's what people don't understand when like we were talking about like how crazy rent is these days and like how you got to get, you know, or even being pre-approved for your house. And if you tell the bank that I'm an Instagrammer, I'm a YouTuber, they're going to laugh in your
not
face.
taking you.
But the fact that you kind of already answered one of the questions I was going to ask is being a creator is inconvenient. Like an idea comes up or like the Colin Kaepernick thing came out, right? Like that trend came out. I automatically went in, took a black and white picture of myself, put start a podcast, even if only one person is ever impacted by it. I think that's like the most likes I ever got on my post, but I instantly reacted. So, but I mean, for you got to instantly react, be able to be like, I got to generate content that's funny, shoot it, and people don't know the whole process of editing.
Yeah.
So it's inconvenient.
For now, like you want to be able to get to a point where it's like you can create content and you're the one creating the trends. So it's like, it doesn't really matter.
True.
Do you know what I mean? You always want to get to that
That's the
point
motive.
where it doesn't matter if it's trending or not. However, you can't predict trends. So it's like, for me, like how am I supposed to predict
That's true.
a spoof of a video I've never seen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or say, for example, I did the Kiki challenge. How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know, like, if that challenge is going to be a thing? So I couldn't sit here and tell you what the next biggest video I'm going to do is, because it probably hasn't been created in the internet yet.
True.
You know?
You ended up on, like, a news station in the States, no? That was crazy.
Man, I got featured on one of the states one where they're like, this is what reckless behavior looks like, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, then they go,
you know, you made it when you're like on for reckless behavior in the States.
Then I even had it where I had a Spanish network doing it.
Really?
So it's like they're all just like, I couldn't speak Spanish, but they're all speaking Spanish, and they go Kiki challenge, and it just shows me. I'm like, damn.
So what was going on through your mind the moment, like, I mean, I don't know how that felt, like your phone was blowing up when This Is Canada came out. Like, what was going through your mind when that just started blowing up?
I was scared. Like, dude, what's funny is when I uploaded the This Is Canada, I was actually out at a networking event.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, like, I always have, like, a certain time that, like, I want to post a video. So I was still busy, like, kind of networking. And so I just go, oh, like, excuse me, I just got to go to the bathroom. So I'm in the stall, like, swiping, trying to get everything. So I post that video. Then I go home. I get a drive home and everything. I'm just looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, like, because I didn't see my phone for the whole night. So as soon as I got it, it's reposted on a bunch of different pages. I'm like, damn, that was quick. Kind of added up. Then, like, what's funny is the 9 gag didn't come till a week after. So it's like,
so it was generating hype before that then. Okay, because I guess, like, one of my questions I was gonna ask you was, how do you plan for viral? Because it's like sometimes it could be like you DM a bunch of people and then it gets like that, or sometimes you put out content that, like, let's say a 6buzz posted it, right? How do you plan for that, or you just put it out?
I think that, like, you always have, like, somewhat of an idea of how a video is gonna go. Like, when I make a video, I'm like, I can tell this is gonna do well.
Yeah.
For the This Is Canada, like, that was before, like, I was even, like, really getting much traction on Instagram or anything. Like, that definitely helped boost me. Yeah. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
But I just knew I wanted to get 10,000 views. That was my goal, because I've never got 10K on a video before. So I was like, just give me 10K. That's my goal. Yeah. So I was like, that's what I'm shooting for. But I could have never predicted that it was going to be as big as it was. Yeah. However, I feel like there's nothing you can really do to make, like, a great video. It almost has to happen naturally. And you have to let, like, the audience decides, you don't decide, right? Yeah. So sometimes it's a video. It's the same with a song. Is like, you can make a whole album and you thought one song was going to be the hit. Then you find out that everyone liked this song way more, and you're like, oh, I guess it's good still, but it's not what I was expecting, right?
Unless you're Drake, you just put out, like, Scorpion and everyone's bumping that right away.
But I don't think he thought In My Feelings was going to be a banger song until Shiggy started making a challenge for it. Yeah. And he goes, okay, I guess I have a hit now. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So you can't, the people decide that.
When I seen Shiggy on the stage in New York, like, performing, like, I actually felt some type of way. I'm like, yo, that come up is real. And, like, he was, you know, like, when you get that stardom moment and some people just, like, freeze or they blank, he killed it. Like, he wasn't nervous. He did his thing. Moves. Boom.
That's his job.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. But for that, it's like, what's crazy so much is this guy was just on Instagram. And now he's on a stage with Drake, and he's in the music video with Drake and stuff. And it's just, it kind of shows nowadays how much the internet has pull on stuff.
Facts. Yeah.
So it's like, now the new media is Instagram and it is YouTube, and it's starting to show how much power these influencers have.
Yeah, for sure. So another thing we touched on before was branching out beyond Toronto based content, because I was asking you, I'm like, I know a lot of people who are influencers, they go to, like, you know, they end up moving to Cali. Like, you look at, like, a Humble the Poet or Lily Singh, they're in Cali now, right? Or actually no, Humble's I think still down here. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But you know what I mean? They end up moving to Cali, and that's where the scene's at. So would you say you're just a Toronto, like, you have a lot of Toronto-based content. Yeah. Are you wanting to be that guy, or are you trying to branch out beyond that?
Like, that's always been my thing, is, like, I never wanted to just do Toronto stuff. I feel like the difference, like, between my Instagram is that, like, I kind of touch on everything. So even though I realize where I'm at, I like the idea of, like, starting off in Toronto and, like, being a Toronto person. Like, I'm totally cool with that. Or being from Canada, like, I'm totally okay with that. Yeah. For me, it's always just what hits the masses. So it's not, I don't want to just do Toronto my whole life. And it's nothing against Toronto. It's more so that, like, I just want to touch the world. It doesn't have to be California. I think the only reason why people go to Cali is because there it's the hub, so you can touch everyone. You know what I mean? It's not like you're just getting California, you're getting everybody. And that's kind of the ultimate goal. So if the hub was in Toronto, I'd stay in Toronto. If the hub's, I'm wherever
you gotta go where that is.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's smart though, because people, and this is something, a constant thread throughout my show, is people look at one side of doing something, but they don't realize like you have to be if you're an influencer, you got to look at trends. You got to be able to know. The one thing I like about you is that you know multiple sides of it. You know the video making, you know the script writing, you know the marketing, you know the acting side of everything. Like, you're holistic in your approach to your content. Other people are like, I just know how to put out like a video, and I'm not knocking on that. There's some people put out like an iPhone video and just went viral, right? But I mean, like, knowing that and understanding that, like, that separates you from the game, because once you get viral, I think Gary Vee talked about it. He's like, you can go viral, but then in a week you're done. No one remembers you anymore, or no one's on that trend. They're on the different thing, right? So to stay consistent, you got to be changing your game, and something like that is, well, where's the attention at, right? I think the crazy thing is, for me, my show's based off in Canada. I focus a lot on Malta, where I'm from, but my second biggest following is in California. Like, really? I had 2,000 downloads like from here, but then there was like 800 downloads from Cali. I don't know why.
That's so cool.
I don't promote to the States. Most of my followers are from, you know, the GTA or Canada, but it's just popping off in Cali. I don't know why. Cool. Right? So
no, but you never know. Like, there's niches everywhere, right? The thing that I don't like about the internet, and not even internet, I guess you could just say it's like everything now, media nowadays, is like you have to be in people's faces nonstop, because you're saying the trends like Twitter and Instagram, it happens so fast. That's like, you could make a viral video, like you could do This Is Canada, in a week no one's gonna remember. You know what I mean? So you have to constantly be updating and stuff, which I feel like takes a toll as far as like a creator goes. Because whereas before you had like maybe a week on YouTube, you had like, you could upload weekly. Like, I'm uploading probably 2 videos a week, 2 pictures a week. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, there gets to a point where like I kind of feel like a lack of inspiration, but that's just the game we're playing nowadays. You know? Sure.
So kind of touching on what we just talked about, let's talk your production company, Division Digital. Like, I've seen you know, do some work for some popular music videos. So going from that guy who just started with the VHS, talk like timeline. How did you get there?
What's funny is I didn't film my first music video till first year of university. Like, I always wanted to make the videos, but I didn't like understand it. Do you know what I mean? I always just wanted to be in them, but I didn't understand the mechanics of how to do it. And I realized that like, you can be an actor and still be in a really bad film. But if you're a director, you can kind of take control of that. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like I'm the type of person who I just like really like control or something. Like, I don't know if that's just who I am.
It's like creativity is different for different people. And like, I see something, like, that's why I have a hard time involving like someone on a team for here, because I'm like, I want to be intentional about that. Or, like, I want to be like, you know how to use this camera, you know how to do, I'm sorry, Jay. I'm like, you know how to use, I'm joking. You know how to use this camera. Like, you know how to edit. Like, I don't want to just give people my content and be like, but like, you don't know the style of how I edit or how I like to see the transitions, right? So I get
it.
Dude,
I'm exactly like that. I'm a control freak, man. Like, I know how I want it filmed. And so like, say for example, I feel like one of my challenges of like being a director, because I can say what my flaws are, because I know them, right? Is I'm always just like, trust me, like, I know how this shot's gonna play out. So it's like, I need to like get better at communicating and kind of say what I mean. But I'm always just like, it's gonna go this way, because I know in my head how it's gonna play out. And and like, the fact of the matter is, if you mess up, and I'm the actor, I'm the writer, I'm the director. If I mess up, then you have no one to blame but yourself. But at least I have control, and I'm not leaving it for someone else. Do you know what I mean?
It's true. And I guess a bonus for you is the fact that you're doing like client work and have your own production company. It keeps you refreshed in the game too, for your own content, for your IG and stuff like that, right? So looking back at where you started, kind of, you know, where you are today, and then now becoming a social media and YouTube influencer, like, was it just like riding wave after wave, or did you be like, I want to be this kind of person?
Oh man, that's a hard question. I would say that when I first started, I just wanted to make dope stuff, man. Like, I always just wanted to make good content. When I was going on YouTube, I was always just making, like, I wasn't really following the trends. I was like, okay, listen, I'm just going to make this video because I think this is funny, or I'm going to make that because I think it's funny, right? Or this because it's serious. But then on Instagram, I feel like you like, there's definitely a time where I kind of played into the role of like, I'm just going to do whatever the people want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I feel like I constantly battle because there's the business mindset of me and then there's the creator side of me where it's like, I know, like, I'll just be honest, like I know what's going to do well.
Yeah.
But it would involve me like diluting a lot of my content and for me to kind of do stuff that I don't usually like to do. And so it gets to the point where it's like, who do you like? Do you want to do? Either you can stay true to yourself and you can get there just a little slower, or you can just say, oh, I'm just gonna make I'm gonna make some stuff of like me doing some stupid stuff or pranks or something and getting that quick exposure. But I don't know, like as far as that goes, it just depends on what you're trying to go for.
Yeah, and I mean, like we were talking about it, like social media algorithms and like IG, how like they only put your videos out to 10% of your people, and like how they've significantly changed that. And it kind of sucks because for the people who maybe take a little longer to put out content, but they really want to focus on like, okay, I want to color grade it this way, I want to have this transition, you know, I want to get a stabilizer for my videos now and focus on that. Those people kind of get the short end of the stick because it's all about time and content and putting it out. Like if the moment I stop, like I took a few weeks off like for my essays and my thesis for York, and like my engagement significantly dropped. So it kind of sucks for those people, right?
Dude, I go through the same stuff. So I'm actually in the exact same spot, is where I feel like I put in like so much work for something and it doesn't like get the result you thought it would because Instagram decides, or it's not just Instagram, it can be any social networking, is they have an algorithm where it's like, listen, we want you to use our social media as much as possible and then we'll promote your stuff, right? Yeah. But I don't feel like being on Instagram all the time, especially if I'm working or something.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to play into that. But at the same time, if I could give you just any advice, I feel like at the end of the day, no matter what you do, as long as you put like your heart and like soul into it, and as long as like you're creating quality, it shows eventually. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you can either be the person who uploads all the time mediocre content, or you can just wait maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, and upload something really good. Yeah. And I feel like that's, in the long run, that's what's going to get you further in life.
For sure. So beyond This Is Canada, what video would you say are you most proud of? Like beyond even just the likes, the views, you said you looked at that one and you're like, I'm proud of that content.
I've made a couple where I'm like, okay, I really like this one. Like one of the videos I did was where, I don't know if you know, it's like inside how men come up with excuses.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of different like Bilals and stuff, and I'm just going crazy. Like I always like that stuff. For like, to be honest, the This Is Canada is one of my favorite as well. But it just depends. Like I like so much of my YouTube videos because I feel like I can like develop a story. Yeah. A little bit longer than a YouTube. True. I mean, like an Instagram format kind of thing. So it's like I always have some where I'm like, oh, these are my favorites. And then there's some where I'm just like, oh, man, like I already recorded it. Let me just put it out. But it's really hard for me, like, as far as like, I know a lot of like perfectionists where it's like, I won't upload it if I don't like it. And there's so many people where it's like, it has to be perfect type thing. For me, the way I see it is like, let me just put out everything because I'm still starting out, right? At the end of the day, if I just keep posting and posting, it's like you get feedback and you know what people like and what they don't like. If you never release anything, then you're not going to know what's good and what's not good, right? Yeah. So for me, I'm just like, okay, let me just keep posting and just see how people like it, so I can even look back at my analytics and stuff and be like, oh, these videos do well, or these videos do well. And so I've learned a lot just in the past couple of months just by doing that.
Yeah, for sure. So your latest IG post caption said, funny man with serious intentions. Oh, yeah. So obviously we focus on the here and now. And I don't want to be like the typical interviewer and be like, in 10 years, where do you see yourself? Yeah. But like, what's the big picture goal for you beyond where you are right now? Yeah.
So the way, like, I've always wanted to move on to bigger budget scale films, right? As far as, I've always thought about that, like, personally too, because like, it's not like that simple of a question of like, what are my intentions and what am I trying to do? The way I see it is I want to be able to get paid just by people investing in me. So whether it's like me acting, whether it's me directing, whether it's me writing or anything, I want people just to be like supporting me no matter what I do. Yeah. To be honest, one of my biggest inspirations actually is Childish Gambino, because he's the type, he just does it.
He's everything. So weird, but he just does his thing.
Like, but it's not even that. It's like people like, you'll invest money just to watch him in a movie. Because he's an actor.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He's done stand up. He's wrote for shows, for SNL and everything. Now he's a rapper and everything. It's like you invest money into him as a person, as a creator, because I feel like I don't even know if it's you would say creator, but as like an artist and stuff, it's like you don't fall in one line of entertainment, right? Like you kind of sometimes I want to make a song. Like next month I'm trying to release a song of some stuff that I'm gonna do. Yeah. And it's just like a funny song. Like it's nothing serious. Yeah. But it's like I like all angles of anything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like I would like to write, and I'm still young, man. Like I couldn't answer like where I would be in 10 years. However, how old are you? I'm 19.
No way. Don't lie.
I'm serious. I'm 98, man.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
What?
You didn't know that?
Wow.
I thought didn't you do your research?
No, I didn't do my research. I mean, I don't want to ask people's age, but what?
I'm 19.
I feel like just your maturity level, you're like 24.
I know. People say that. Wow. Man. And I hang around a lot of old people, man.
Yeah.
But no, I'm young. So like if you're asking me like, dude, I couldn't tell you. Like I couldn't tell you what specifically I'm going to be doing in 10 years, whether it's directing, acting, any of that. But for now, I kind of see it as like I'm going to do everything. And certain things I might realize, oh, man, I'm a horrible actor. You know what I mean? And it might I might accept it and be like, okay, I'm really good at directing. Let me do this, right? Or say, for example, I start writing scripts and I'm like, I really hate writing. So I'll just stop writing. So I couldn't tell you because I haven't tried everything in depth. Give me like 5 years and I might be able to answer that question more in depth, you know?
Yeah, because it's something that we also talked about is the fact that you like being busy and like you don't like those dead periods. And I resonate with that too, because for me, and my mom always says that, like when people have been asking my parents like, oh, your son quit his full-time job, you know, what bigger thing is he going on to? And when they tell them that I'm just working part-time and I'm focusing on like a podcast or whatever.
Dude, you're lucky. So what do you think they say when my parents are like, oh, so what does your son do? Oh, he makes videos online and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you're lucky. It's like, oh, is he in school? Well, actually, he just dropped out. And so it's like, oh, okay, so what does he do? Oh, he makes videos on the internet. Shit.
But
so,
you know what? People have people have to learn that's where the tide's going. Like it's that people like, and especially back even to like financing a home. Like, yo, those are legitimate things. The income might not be steady, but it's something you love doing beyond just like you said you could work for a videography company. Instead, you'd rather do it yourself because you have the creative touch. You know, you're the one who can choose to take a gig or not. You don't have to come and show up to the company, everything. Right?
But it's not even that. It's like you said that it might not be steady, but it can be steady if you do it right. Do you know what I mean? As far as Instagram goes, you can set yourself up to a point where it's like every day I'm doing something that's involving money or something I'm gaining, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's like any other company. People can say, oh, it's not consistent. It's like, I don't think any company starting off was ever like, we got business every day. That's like, true. I wish I could tell you I was making music videos or videos every day, but it's just not true, right? Yeah. But it can get to that point. But you have to develop it, right?
Yeah, and also having the time to capitalize on opportunity. And that's one of the huge things. Like I just posted something today, like slowing down is a sign of maturity too. Because for me, I used to try to balance. Like I know you like doing a lot of things at once, and I still do a lot of. Like I'm still doing a lot. When I'm saying this, I'm being modest. I'm still doing a lot. Yeah. But I mean, for me, I just need the headspace, and like I take Mondays off for now. Like for Mondays are my rest days, my record days, or my edit days, or whatever.
So, but like, when you say okay, but that's the thing though. Is it slow, or are you just taking rest? It's almost like the way it should be.
Yeah, I guess it's more rest. I guess it's more rest. But I mean, like I have more days off now that I can take opportunities. Before it was either after 6 p.m. when I finished work or really early in the morning. Now I could be like, okay. Like for instance, I was supposed to have a meeting today at 12 before I picked you up. It got canceled, but I mean, like I had the opportunity to meet with someone to talk about social media consulting and stuff, right?
But are you taking things slowly? Or are you actually just freeing? So the way I see it, like I feel like you need to reword that as I feel like you're prioritizing now because it's not really slow. It's just you've traded one thing in for the other. So it's like if you had the opportunity to do a podcast every day, to do meetings every day, wouldn't you take that? Like I still agree that you do take your off days for rest, for like mind space. But as far as taking things slow, it's like screw that, man. Yeah, you're gonna die soon. That's true. Just just go for it.
It's true. And when I was talking a little earlier about like my parents, is my mom always says he's like a cat. If you throw it up in the air, it'll find its way, right? Like I don't know. That's a horrible like.
If you throw, say again.
I don't know. She said something about like a cat. If you throw it up in the air, it'll get.
Throw a cat up.
If you throw a cat up in the air, like you throw it over there, like it'll get its footing, right? It's not gonna be like you throw a dog. Okay, let's be real. If you throw
Dude,
a
this
dot,
sounds like some crazy stuff. Man was like,
okay, basically the premise of what she was saying was that I'm quick on my feet. I'll get back to whatever I need to do. Like if this doesn't work out, like a podcast doesn't work out, not that I'm saying it's not.
yeah,
I'll go to something else. Like I'm passionate about like accessing my skills and going beyond my limitations to say, what can I use that's transferable, or even what do I just like doing in that season? Like before I started this, I did a quotes page, and for the moment, like I got it to about 2,000 followers in like 3 months, and I was doing a lot. It was cool, but do I forsake that experience? No, because now it's shown me how to be consistent on IG.
Exactly.
So now with the Real Community Talks, I use some of the same things there. When I did the quotes page, I found a specific app that helped me. Now I use that for my thing. So like everything's for a purpose, right? But the thing about me is, it doesn't mean that something is a wasted experience, but it's like it's building off and building off and building off, right? So
2 things, man. Disclosure for the people watching at home: don't throw cats
Don't
off
throw
buildings and stuff. But I would say that you're exactly right, because it's like it's a fact of is you can't tell the future, right?
Yeah.
And it's you want to be you never know what's gonna lead you to one thing. So for example, because I am taking the year off, dropping out, whatever you want to say at York, like I'm not going there anymore.
Yeah.
And people will ask, like, so do you just regret like spending those 2 years there? And like, it's not true, because the amount of people I found and met and the amount of experiences I had led to the videos that I've made. Do you know what I mean?
True.
So it's like I could have easily stayed home, but I probably would have never started Instagram then.
Oh, wow.
So it's like when you see it like that, it's like you never know what like the grand scheme of things are gonna actually happen. So it's like you might as well just kind of be like along for the ride and just be like, I don't know if this is gonna last, but let me enjoy it while I can and see what can come from it.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's what I'm really embracing is non-traditional, unconventional pathways, because you know, in every movie you see the kid go there and the parents are at the graduation ceremony and they're like, I'm proud of you, instead of like, I'm sure like both of our sets of parents, like they know what we're doing, and as long as we're doing what we like doing, they're proud of us, right? And it doesn't have to be like you're bringing in, you know, a 6-figure every year, but it's like, do you love what you do? And that's where I'm at. I was going up in government, getting positions, getting looks that I, you know, would have never got before. But I wanted to do it for one, the money, and for the position, and just to show people that this guy from Malton made it. But I'm like, yo, I can just as much make it from doing something I love doing.
But what's making it, man?
It's true. It's
what
true.
Is it? I hate when people, it's like, what's making it, man?
It's not
like,
just money.
It's not, dude, like I'll tell you, like it's not at all, man. Like you want to just be doing, because if you're doing something and you're making a lot of money doing something you hate, like the job is where you're gonna be at for probably like majority of your days.
Every day.
Don't you want it to be something that you love doing?
Facts.
Like it doesn't make sense to go to a job that you hate doing just to go home tired to your family and stuff, and then don't want to spend the money or blah blah blah. It's like you might as well be doing something you love, and then if you are taking less time, then you have more time to spend with your family. It's like at the end of the day, whatever you love doing, that's what you should be doing all the time. You're
literally preaching to Dre over here, because he's like 2 weeks into college and he's like, I want to drop out already, and I get it, but I'm just like, what he's like, well, Bilal said so, I'm gonna do it.
Dude, no, it's just okay. You want me to hear the, want to hear the truth?
Do it.
Dude, like, okay, I'm not promoting dropping out of school or anything like that, but I'm saying if you know what you want to do and it doesn't relate to school, then why are you there? Life is too short that it's like, if you're doing anything that you don't want to do, why do it?
Yeah.
If you don't know what you want to like do in life, then like stay in school and kind of explore. Yeah. If you are truly exploring. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if you're just going to kind of coast and just do things because your parents say you want, you know what, and I know it's always the parents, or it's society saying like, oh, you have to be in school or anything like that. It's like, it's not like that anymore. If you know what you want to do and it doesn't involve school, then you're just wasting your time, because you never know when like it's gonna get taken away from you, you know?
Yeah. So who are some influencers or YouTubers or IG people in the game right now, or like even in the past, that you look to and you're like, I want to, like, you know, I like their content, or they kind of inspired who you are today?
See, and this goes back to who inspired me. Like, so look at King Batch. He's a big one.
Yes.
And the thing that he did that like we were kind of trying to do in Toronto is kind of create a team of people, because they did the exact same thing in LA where you have all the Viners and stuff be together, because it's like at the end of the day, collaborations is king. It's true. You start collaborating with people. So say, for example, now my audience comes to your podcast, right? And now your audience comes to me. It's like there's so much cross platforming and stuff. So I definitely think like his mindset of that and his comedy, obviously. Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
He is my favorite comedian. He definitely is one of my favorite comedians.
Yeah.
Because he just doesn't care. He's like, listen, I'm going to say, and he's so smart with it, man.
Yeah.
Like he never tells a joke where it's like, it's insulting. It's like, it's always so intelligent. It's so like, he weaves through it. He weaves through it so perfectly. Who else is my inspiration? I would say, obviously, I told you, Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
He's one of my inspirations. I love anyone who can kind of like do more than one thing. Do you know what I mean? Someone like King Bach, he expanded and he started doing acting.
Wilding Out now too.
Wilding Out, all of that stuff. I think he's past Wilding Out now.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, he's doing
on TV
movies.
shows and movies. Yeah. So one of your favorite quotes is, "He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life," by Muhammad Ali. So why do you resonate with that quote so much?
Okay, so funny story, because I didn't tell you. It's tattooed right here on my arm.
Nice.
Yeah. So I kind of had to pick that quote because I tattooed it.
Yeah.
But this kind of like relates to everything that like we were just saying is like, it takes so much to take a risk in life. Like it's not easy. Doing what you want to do in life isn't easy. Yeah. Like you can always take the easy route, but it probably isn't going to be what you want, right?
Yeah.
And taking risks, so for example, of dropping out of school or anything, like that's not like the most simple decision I had to make in my life, right? And I feel like the best things come after the hardest decisions. So as soon as that happens and you can honestly say, no, like I'm going to do it my way. And sometimes it doesn't work out, but at least you can say, I tried. Yeah. Because there's no harm in trying. Yeah. I failed so many times, man. Do you know how many times I've made like a video when it flops, or how many times I've gone, because I do acting too. Do you know how many auditions I've gone? I probably haven't landed 90% of my auditions. Wow. Seriously. Yeah. So it's like but I keep going because you just never know, because that one time you might make it, right? Yeah. And it's like you shoot 50 shots and one goes in, but that one's the buzzer beater, right?
Yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? Michael Scott, quoting Wayne Gretzky. I resonate with that too, because I think part of that too is when you tell someone that you're quitting a job or you're dropping out of a program, it's like foreign to them. But also there's that element of gaining control back of your life. Like you should never stay in a job just because you're getting a consistent paycheck, or never feel bad when you have to give in your 2 weeks. Like, it's just business. This is the next part of my life that I'm going through. Like, I used to always feel like that. Like, I would dread going into my boss and telling them I'm giving them my 2 weeks.
But you see,
now it's so empowering.
I don't feel like it's even that. I feel like it's just a social thing. It's like you're afraid of what other people will think of you, man. Yeah. So it's like same with like the university stuff is you don't want to just see their expression going, oh, yeah, you dropped out.
I know.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
Like I make videos or whatever. Like you don't want to see that expression, or
they don't rate it,
you're quitting your job. They're like, oh, you're going to quit. Like you don't want to see that, like you don't want to have that social interaction. That awkward interaction. Honestly, yeah.
You're more worried about what people's reaction is than actually pursuing what you feel right about. Right?
Exactly.
So one thing I like to ask on the show is just as a holistic look at who you are. What role has faith played in your life and what we've talked about of who you are today?
So like as far as like I grew up, like my grandparents were super like not super religious, but they were religious. They grew up in like a Muslim household, right? Yeah. So as far as like God goes, like I'm not the most religious person in any means. So like when people ask me stuff, because I get that question a lot, because everyone like Bilal's a Muslim name and everything. Yeah. So people are always just like, oh, so you're Muslim, But then they watch my content like, you're not Muslim. You don't do this stuff. So I feel like by calling myself Muslim, it's completely disrespectful to say, like, you know what I mean? Because I know what I'm about and I'm not religious. Like I'll be the first one to say it. However, I do feel like I'm almost like I believe in things. I feel like you have to believe in things to like get through in life, right? Yeah. But I'm definitely more of a skeptic. So it's like, tell me why. And I'm open to any conversation. That's the thing. So it's like, if you wanted to tell me what your belief is, I'm not going to say that's wrong. I'm not going to say it's right either. I'm just going to say, oh, that's interesting. And I can take it with a grain of salt and see like,
100%.
You know what I mean?
Because people have done so many bad things in the name of religion. People have, and it's another thing. It's like a team thing. Like in FIFA, I'm team Portugal, or like, in the community's sake, I'm team Christianity or Islam or Buddhism. Right? So a lot of people just do it because of association and what people will think. But why do you believe what you believe?
Christianity rules. They're like, you suck. That's literally all it is.
I'm that guy where I'm Christian, but like, Christians do a lot of dumb stuff and a lot of like there was that whole thing, but like
I don't know if it's Christians do a lot of dumb stuff. People do a lot of dumb stuff. So it's like I hate when you see like, oh, like all Muslim people are terrorists and stuff. It's like, no, we have extremists. The same way Christians do, the same way black people have extremists, white people have extremists. Like, don't start telling me that like it's one group when it's everybody. Like, you just have dumb people.
Because I have a lot of Muslim friends, and everything that the news tells you a Muslim person is, I don't resonate with that at all. Like, some of my Muslim friends are the nicest people I've known, even nicer than some of my Christian brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? So
so I don't know. Things are changing now in the new age, where I feel like everything, at least in North America or whatever you want to say, it's like it's a lot more open, where it's like, okay, you are free to do your own religion and practice it, but at the same time you still have a lot of racism. You still have a lot of bias, religious you know what I mean?
It's true. So last thing before rapid fire, if you could go back in time, like you get in a time machine and you could go back to grade 9, Bilal just about to enter high school.
Afro days.
What word or what thing would you want to tell him, to warn him, to give him a word of advice, tell him to do something? What would you say to yourself?
Oh, that's easy, man. If I was to go back and talk to past Bilal, I'd just say, yo, man, chill.
Chill.
Yo, man, just chill. Because like I think something that I'm really happy about, like how I became like as a person, is I feel like I'm so like relaxed with how things go, and I don't feel like I don't feel pressure like as much as I used to in high school. I felt like everything was so important. Yeah. And I would also be like, don't care, like don't, like it doesn't matter what people think, man.
Facts.
Like I feel like when I first started making videos and stuff, I was like, man, like how will people think of me like after this or that's why I'm not gonna lie, like I stopped making as many videos in high school because I was like, man, what are people gonna think of me after I do this? And then after a while I was like, man, like people are gonna either hate or they're gonna like it. Do you know what I mean? There's not everyone's gonna like what you do with yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you kind of just have to say, okay, listen, so I can either be myself and just go full force at it, or like I can kind of like be someone else just so other people can accept you. And it's like, what's the point? Do you know what I mean?
True. All right, so you reached that point in the episode where it's rapid fire. So first thing that comes to your head. Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Advil or Tylenol?
Tylenol.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Toronto or Saga?
Toronto.
Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro?
Premiere Pro. That's easy.
IGTV or YouTube?
YouTube.
Top 3 rappers of all time?
Of all time, Tupac, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole.
Oh, I was okay.
No.
Favorite place you've traveled, local or international?
California.
Favorite book you read or are reading?
The Alchemist.
Favorite song right now that you're listening to?
Oh. What am I listening? This is just a song I've been listening to right now. Is "Sing About Me" by Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Great song. What's a song right now that's out? Is what's that song with Drake and 2 Chainz? No, is it 2 Chainz?
I don't know.
Dinner Need the Squad.
All right.
Off on the lane. Look it up. Spotify that.
Favorite Saturday morning cartoon when you were young?
Looney Tunes. Can I answer that?
Yeah,
answer that.
Go.
Batman the animated series.
Batman the animated series. Yeah. All right. Who is one person besides you, because you'll get your plug time, that everyone should go right now and follow on Instagram or check them out?
Ooh.
If you could recommend.
Can I plug a couple people?
Go.
Okay. Obviously, I'm gonna look at the camera and do this one. Obviously, follow anyone that like I've worked with. That goes from McFly, Trezor, Joseph, Effie, 6 Reacts, J-Ro, Memphis, Andy. What's with Andy? People are gonna hate me because I won't remember. It's a 6 Oz. Everybody, plug. Go see that. If you want to go follow someone of any, my bad. Yo, go follow all of those people. If anyone else that you could follow is Michael B. Jordan, because he's a sick guy.
Yeah.
And I go follow him. He's inspiration.
Obviously, multiple people probably had an influence on you, but if the first person that comes to your mind when I say most influential person on your life?
My dad.
If you go back to a single point...
And my mom.
Right.
Sorry, Mom.
If you go back to a single point in your life, what day would that be if you could revisit it for one day?
Ooh, My 18th birthday was my 18th birthday was a really good day. We went to we lived literally the most basic Toronto man's birthday as we rented a condo in Sheridan with the view of the CN Tower, man. Great birthday. 18th.
If there was a movie on your life, what would the title read?
Ooh. Any movie title about my life is The Creator.
The Creator.
The Creator. And, with an I.
And if they couldn't get you to act you, who would you want them? Who would you want to play you? It doesn't have to be a lookalike, but any actor that you'd want to play you.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington. All right.
Yeah, I probably do. I don't know if he could do it.
He'd do a good blow.
He'd do it.
If you could have coffee or Corona or your drink of choice, whatever you drink, with anyone from any point in history, dead or alive, who would it be?
Coffee, probably. Oh, no, I don't know. I would go talk to. I'd probably talk to like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs or. No, Steve Jobs and I would probably smoke weed with Steve Jobs or do psychedelics with Steve Jobs and just see what crazy stuff he would tell me.
I've seen this quote speaking of Steve Jobs, and I love it. I love that quote where he says, "Why are you hiring people to tell them what to do when you're supposed to hire smart people to tell what to do?" And I'm like, that just changed. That's true. A lot of companies want to control you like a slave master, but like you're hiring me for a skill set, right?
Dude, like when I'm getting people for like production companies and stuff, to be completely honest, is I want people who are way better at me and stuff, man. Like I want an editor who's better than me. I want a DP who's better than me. I want a camera guy who's better than me.
Facts,
and people will start being like, "Oh, so what do you do?" And I'll be like, "I got the people together." You know what I mean?
But that's a skill set, though.
Yeah,
like, you're the glue that sticks everything together.
But
right?
why wouldn't you want the best of the best, right?
It's true. If you could be any animal, what would you want to be?
Oh, easy, lion.
Lion?
King of the jungle. I was obsessed with lions as a kid, man.
Yeah.
Not even as a kid. I'm not going to lie. I was obsessed with lions like last year.
Yeah.
Where I got into a phase where all I did was watch Animal Planet fights. You ever watch those?
Yeah.
You've never done that? You never like, dude, I got into a point where like in the morning, I'd be like, okay, like I'm about to go to the gym. Let me watch a gorilla mess up like a lion or some stuff, man. I was watching so many animal fights, man.
Yo, if anyone like I got into this period where I was watching like I think like National Geographic and BBC this and all that kind of stuff. I
love it.
And I'm like if someone just looks at my recent history, I'm gonna look like
I look crazy. Yeah, I look crazy. No, I'm telling you, man. Like my stuff was literally gorillas. Like I would look up gorilla fight extreme.
Gorilla fights a tiger or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Lion King 1 or Lion King 2?
Lion King 1 is the original. So
name a song that when you hear it, it puts you in your feelings. Like you think about that in your feelings?
No, Marvin's Room.
Okay,
Marvin. Does everyone answer Marvin's Room?
No, Marvin's Room. That's my song.
That's yours.
Like,
yeah,
Marvin's Room. I think about Oh man. Anyways, yo, I'm not gonna.
Or Chance, Acid Rap is a great song.
Okay, if you were stranded on an island, what 2 things would you want with you?
A woman. Is that one? Can I pick?
You could say that.
Can I pick that one? And this just sounds wrong. No. I was gonna say a camera.
I get what you're saying, though. We understand what you're saying.
Oh my god, maybe a book. Let me say a book. And yeah, those are the 2.
What style did you rock that you look back now and wish you never rocked?
I had cornrows for 3 days.
3 days.
I had cornrows for 3 days, man, and I did not like the look. You know what? If I could erase my whole grade 9 style, I was wearing like green Adidas track pants with like a red Nike shirt and an afro. And it was just dark days,
horrible.
Dark days.
If someone comes to the 6 and you got to take them out for food, where's that spot?
Ooh, there's a great Mexican place in Kensington. There's too many. I would take maybe
Kensington Market, yeah.
Kensington Market, yeah. Maybe get them chicken and waffles. Yeah, let's go chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles. What job would you be horrible at?
Oh, there's so many jobs I'd be so bad at. Oh, that's easy. Like any scientist, any mathematician job. As soon as it gets to math, I'm done.
Yeah. Where do you feel most out of place? In a science lab? No.
Where do I feel most out? To be honest, there's been so many scenarios I felt out of place, man. When I go to like those networking events and stuff, I'm like, man, I'm not rich here. Yeah. Like everyone's wearing super nice tuxedos and stuff. And I'm like, I feel like I want to be able to put myself in any scenario but I've been into a lot of weird experiences where like yeah, I'd say anything that I feel
It's like out of your element.
that's out of my element. However, I feel like I'm really good at like
Adapting.
reacting to that.
When you die, when people remember you, what do you want them to remember about Bilal? Like if someone said Bilal was,
I'd want people to say Bilal was like, he was, wow.
this isn't,
He was
this is definitely.
no,
not
this
good.
is an in-depth, but I can answer this. I'm just trying to formulate it. I would want to say Bilal was a free spirit. He was someone who made the most of life. So the way I see it, and this is just true, like how I want to live my life, is I want to live a life with no regrets. That's why I got the tattoo saying you got to take risks in life, to remind myself every day that like life's so short. It's like, why not do everything that I've ever wanted to do? So I just want people to say he was free spirit, and he made the most of everything.
Nice. Lastly, what's the title? If you could put a title, if your life was a book and you could put a title to the current chapter of where you are in life right now, what would you title that chapter?
The come up.
The come up.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. So you survived rapid fire. So now
I still think I did say some things that weren't allowed. But
I'm like, yo, beforehand, I'm like, Bilal, I know your content, I know your personality, but I'm like, yo, like there's like these little kids watching the show too, and he's like,
I didn't mean women at the thing. I meant women to talk to, just to tell me about life, man. You guys are messed up, man. I just wanted to just continue here. Let's end this.
So now it's guest corner. So it's your chance to plug everything for you or any other thing that you want, and maybe the last thing that you want to say to the fans.
So I already plugged the people, so who cares about that? Now it's time to talk about me. But if you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me. It's Bilal Dawson, BILALDAWSON. Follow my content, because I don't want to just make Instagram videos my whole life. I'm starting to make short films. I'm starting to try and get to like a little bit bigger budget things. I want to make a web series. All of this is coming soon. If you like someone who's just serious, not serious. If you like someone who's just passionate about what they do, then you're going to find that on my page. And not only that, I have a production company. So if you guys ever need videos made, it's Division Digital. We have an Instagram page, or you can hit me up on my social, and we can discuss further if you guys want to make some videos. Other than that, if I could leave on last minute words, I would say, like, as far as like the theme, I feel like between this whole podcast would be just to kind of like I said, take risks, man. Don't regret anything, man. Life's too short, and I know even at our age where it doesn't seem like you know what you want to do, I feel like this is the point, and I'm not putting any pressure on anyone at our age of like high school, university. I feel like this is the point where you kind of decide whether or not you conform or you excel in what you love. So you can either go take that degree and be a doctor even though you hate medicine, or you can go be an engineer even though you hate the math or anything in that. Or you can take the risk, no matter what your parents say, no matter what your friends say, no matter like what anybody says. Go through. Nothing matters but how you feel inside. If you go home every day and you're tired but you're loving what you do, then you live in life right. And that's my final gospel last words.
Well, you're Muslim, then. I'm joking. So that wraps it up for our show today. I'm gonna leave links to everything Bilal has going on in the description. And on our website, so if you want to check that out. But last thing before we go is I like to give you guys a word of encouragement, because I know, especially since you're popping off and you got popular, like you don't have the time to answer every DM to respond to every person, but you know that you're getting that look and a lot of people are liking your content. But I just want you to hear it like in person. Something I respect about you is your consistency, and like I think a lot of people, they want that viral content, they want that big thing to pop off, but they don't realize how to sustain it. And you're someone who I can see has the foundation of sustainability for your content in the future. I think your relevance, like me and Dre, like I'll always, like I DM him stuff all the time, and like a lot of them are your videos too. It's just like even though you've been in Toronto for 4 years, but you're from Hamilton, you're from or Burlington or whatever.
I'm such a weasel, man.
But yo, like when I watch your content, like you know that content is not just funny, but when it resonates with someone, like it hits their heart. I'm like, I know exactly how going to York feels like, or this. Like you're putting out content that's authentic and genuine, just real. So I respect that.
Thank you,
like when I met him today, one of the realest videos he made I liked was the handshake thing where you're like going in for like the fist bumping thing, and I'm like, how many times has this happened? That's like one of the most cringeworthy moments of like life ever.
And that's like, man, I know we're just trying to end it, but I'm serious. Like when it comes to like creating that stuff, it's literally just live life, and the videos come from there.
It's facts.
Like anything else, man.
And your hustle mentality, like you got a lot of things going on. Like we talked about, like your client work today and doing all this kind of stuff. Like, people like the final product, but they're not in it for the process. They're not in it for the long haul. And I could see that you are, and like you're consistent, you're doing your thing. So I think that's commendable, because you're not just a funny guy. You're not just a guy who's great at videography, but you're setting an example to young, like wanting to be an Instagrammer or a YouTuber is a legitimate job. And I want young people to understand that you don't have to go to school to be a doctor or a lawyer or traditional stuff, but you're showing people that it's possible. And the fact that I know that you're 19 now is even more powerful, because, you know, a lot of people pop off when they're like mid-20s, whatever, but you're a young guy. While you were in your program doing that, I rate you for that. And lastly, as a fellow bearded brother, don't listen to the haters. Your beard connects. I like your beard. It's good.
Not, you don't
your beard game. Your beard game.
Patronizing right now, man. I know it doesn't connect, but listen, like you just said, I'm in the hustle mentality, and I know over time, all these girls, they laugh at me, they say whatever they want, but when the beard connects, your number's out of my phone. So don't worry about it.
I rate your beard, though. I rate
Thank
your beard. Honestly, I think your beard makes you look a lot older than you are.
Thank you, man.
But Bilal, I just wanted to sincerely thank you for coming out to RCT and blessing us with your presence, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me a platform to showcase my stuff.
All day.
And thank you to everyone listening at home.